wild world can be very unpredictable. Even the animals that have lived and evolved in it for thousands of years to become the boldest creatures can lay their hands on wrong enemies while hunting, biting off more than they can chew. From tiny titans to mighty champions, these videos show that it's not always the biggest ones that triumph in the wild. These two animals were sharing one enclosure at a zoo, and as opposed to what many would think, the goose was never in danger here. It is the danger. Just as the gorilla moved closer to it, the goose felt offended and charged at it. And instead of fighting back, it just got scared. This shows that size doesn't matter. Eels are not a very good food choice, but this crocodile was too desperate and did not know a shocking fact about this fish. So, just as it went in to munch on the eel, it got electrocuted at almost 600 volts. It was certainly not expecting this kind of reaction from its meal. I'm sure this was the shock of a lifetime. And most probably, its last one, too. At first, I thought this elephant was playing in the water, but the reality is far darker. It was angrily stomping on a crocodile that messed with it. Ow! That looks like it'll leave a mark. Not just on the body, but on the mind as well. This crocodile will never forget getting served by an elephant like this. This baboon family was drinking water in Botswana's Kwando Lebala when a crocodile disturbed their perfect evening. It had one of the baboon's members in its deadly jaws, and every monkey stood firm to get it back. Just as the predator came to the surface, the baboons landed with a collective strike. Leaving it with no choice but to release its prey and retreat to the waters without lunch. It's insane how life can be decided in a split second in the wild, and this clip shows how. This bushbuck was drinking water at the South Luangwa National Park when a crocodile came in flashing to capture it. Just look at the speed of this fantastic animal. The crocodile still had to return empty-handed, despite having speed and a deadly bite. We should award cats with some kind of a medal for their fearlessness. They can literally take on apex predators without a flinch. This cat has no fear of the alligators that wander in its area and always slaps them for coming near its food. And that one slap is enough to keep them away. It's like the alligator is no more than a mouse for this vicious feline. You might have seen a crocodile taking a bite out of a zebra, but have you seen one that bites back? This poor zebra was stuck in a critical condition when 5 crocodiles gathered around it, but it had no plans of becoming a predator's meal, so it took a mind-blowing approach of biting back. I'm sure that the crocodile was confused about what just happened with it. Luckily, with strategy and bravery, it walked out of the situation. Here's another zebra that used its powerful kick of 3,000 pounds of force to get rid of a hungry crocodile hell-bent on eating it. Now, this is what happens when you don't plan out your actions accordingly. The crocodile thought going for the baby boars would be easy, but did not consider that their parents were right there for protection. They came straight in and showed the predator who is the boss.
No.
It looks like the croc is contemplating its existence and life choices after getting humiliated by being beaten by a boar family. Sharks are widely feared by many when they go into the ocean. And honestly, with their razor-sharp teeth and top speeds, they deserve this reputation. But even these top predators can become prey. Don't trust me? Well, look for yourself. This eerie footage shows a shark mercilessly being twisted by an unknown creature, Some believe it is a sea isopod. To me, it looks like the creatures from my nightmares came into the real world. You might know buffaloes as lazy animals, but they can be very sturdy and can take on anything. See it for yourself. This buffalo got stuck in a critical situation while drinking water, and instead of giving in to the crocodile, it dragged it out of its territory.
Oh my God.
This predator really overestimated itself here, and in the end, it had to run away for its life. Mostly, predators do not mess with porcupines because they know their quills would cause more damage than good, but this leopard still wanted to try its luck. The porcupine had opened its defensive shield, harming the leopard's paws, and even after this, it was unwilling to give up on its potential food. The porcupine even shot its quills, but the stubborn cat did not back down despite being stabbed multiple times. I guess it'll learn its lesson only after a significant loss. This alligator made the wrong decision of entering a neighborhood in Florida, and just as the people witnessed it getting too close, they decided to get it in a trash can. Well, it was the safest way to get the gator back in the wild without harming anyone. That guy deserves a badge of honor for detaining a gator in a trash can, all while wearing slides. Tigers are capable of climbing trees, but obviously they're not as good as monkeys. This one tiger overestimated its climbing skills and tried to get a monkey for its meal, but little did it know that it was not going to go as planned. Look how it fell from the tree! There's no way it could have overcome the monkey's intelligence with its fast speed. It looks like this crocodile mistook the lion for some deer. The footage of two confused predators was recorded in Sabi River when a crocodile tried to have a lion for dinner. But when it realized it could end badly, it stayed in one place and let the lion go away. I'd say that was a very wise decision. This sheep saw the bull as a threat to its friends, so it decided to safeguard them. It was courageous enough to go up to the giant opponent alone and confronted it with a boss attitude. Just look at their size difference. It was standing firm in front of it. After getting a massive hit, the bull knew it was better to get out of its way. This sheep showed size clearly doesn't matter. This Lichwi was crossing the Chobe River in search of greener pastures, but got tailed by a vicious predator on its way. The crocodile had set its eyes on the poor prey, and it looked like there was no escape now. And he got it! Wait, what? The mighty Lichwi emerged again and kicked the crocodile in its face!
No! No!
Now that's a good comeback! All these lions gathered around a buffalo and almost took over the colossal meal. But there's a twist. It was not alone. The rest of its herd barged in, and one of them swung a lion in the air. Even if they're apex predators, they get the horns for messing with these strong bulls. Looks like they won't be messing with another one from this herd at least. These elephants were peacefully drinking water from the Chobe River when a crocodile jumped out of nowhere to get a piece of them. But the elephants instead said, "I'm not stuck in here with you, you're stuck in here with me." I'm sure it instantly regretted the decision to mess with these giants. This pack of hyenas got all excited about getting hold of one lioness, but they didn't know its whole family was nearby. Just when they thought they had overpowered her, they all charged at the pack, and they all dispersed like they were never even there in the first place. This is real teamwork. This shark thought of having a bird for its meal, but had difficulty getting its jaws around it.
Go, birdie, go.
Wait a minute. Is that? How did it get out of that close call? That was quite an impressive escape, I must say. I don't know if this owl was curious or aggressive, but it's got the guts to mess with a fox. And it did not do this just once. It followed the fox around and then stood on the ground to watch it more closely. It's like it was challenging the fox to a duel and knew it could take on anything. Even the fox was confused about this unusual behavior from the bird. This rooster was minding its own business when the cat decided to invade his personal space. Although they were just play fighting, that rooster still showed it who was the boss. And charging one time was just not enough. They both engaged in an aggressive dance multiple times until they learned their lesson of not messing around with each other. This shark felt great about finding an octopus for dinner, but little did it know that its food would fight back. It didn't surrender to the shark easily, giving it a tough time. It even shot its ultimate weapon, the ink. Although in the end, the shark succeeded, it will never forget this encounter with the octopus and how it faced a tough time. This bald eagle planned on having crab for its meal, but chose the wrong one. Just as it grabbed its food, the crab started clawing its face. It looked so done with being bullied by these eagles. It was about time for retaliation. Whoa! It even tries to sink the predator. Now that looks personal. This eagle will think twice before messing with a crab next time. This lion desperately needs food. That is why it is trying its luck with a herd of buffaloes, and they have had no intention of giving it to this predator that easily. After trying everything and getting no results, it had no other option than to climb up a tree to save itself from its own prey. I never thought I'd see a lion in such a desperate situation, but I guess its strategy for survival is justified. Just look at the number of these buffaloes. This predator definitely did not see that coming. Honey badgers are true daredevils of the animal kingdom, and no one dares to fight with these ferocious beings. But these leopards still decided to try getting it for a nice meal. And even after being outnumbered, this courageous honey badger did not back down. In fact, it gave the predators a tough time.
I don't know. The honey badger would run away when you got the opportunity. No way.
After fighting off 3 leopards, it gracefully walks out of the situation. Here's another big cat that made the mistake of messing with a honey badger's baby, and its mother came in to teach it a lesson.
Another one.
Just look at the speed of this brave mama. I'm sure this leopard is taking a nice, long look, so it never forgets not to mess with a honey badger again. This young elephant was doing exactly what teenagers do. It got the idea of imitating a buffalo by kicking its head. Initially, it might have seemed like a good idea, so it went in and did exactly that. But the buffalo did not find it funny and went to teach it a lesson. I guess it was not as funny as it had thought. This cheetah might have hunted different birds before, but it made the wrong decision of messing with an ostrich. It was not willing to give in to the cheetah's wish of making it a meal, so it charged back. I'm sure the cheetah had a second thought about its food choice and decided it was not so hungry anymore. This couple was having a nice time when a hawk decided to ruin the perfect day. Just as the rooster went inside, the predatory bird saw the right opportunity and dove right in for the hen. Luckily, the rooster was nearby and came running to protect the hen. After being beaten by its food, the hawk nearly escaped with its life. It won't be coming here again for sure. Many have considered donkeys dumb animals, but in reality, they can put up some impressive self-defense during fights. These two dogs also made the mistake of considering it naive, and got their result. The donkey retaliated unimaginably, and even flipped one dog upside down. They will never mess with donkeys again. It got so done about the cat playing around with it, so the rat did something unexpected. It fought back! That's right! It's better for this cat to go into defensive mode because the rat won't be backing down at all. It's hilarious how it is chasing the feline away. It looks like something straight out of Tom and Jerry. This fight scene is more epic than many action movies out there. The dumb centipede had made the wrong decision of messing with the babies of a grasshopper mouse. So it was time to teach it a lesson. The mother turned into warrior mode and used all her strength and speed on the crawling predator. Look how determined she was to get her hands on the centipede. And with that power, no one could stop her. After a long battle, the mother was finally victorious, and there was never a doubt about that. This crow saw a torn net as the best opportunity to get to the baby chicks, but little did it know that it would turn out opposite to what was planned. When it entered the cage, the mama chicken was right there to protect her kids, and she did not hesitate to teach the crow a lesson. She got on its back and kept landing vicious blows one after the other. Sadly, there was no escape from this mother's wrath. Cats never back down from a fight when it comes to their food, even if their opponent is a fox. This cat had caught something for itself, and the fox wanted to share. But this feline had no intention of doing that. Instead, it held its stance, stared at, and fought off the fox, showing who is the boss. Just as the fight was about to conclude, it walked over to the thin edge of the fence, because it knew the fox wasn't capable of doing that. Nyala are not very fast, nor are they particularly strong, so these cheetahs thought they would have an easy meal while hunting one. But this Nyala bull planned on making the big cats work harder for it. It strategically used the giant bush at its back to its advantage as a shield, and its giant horns for a defensive stance. After an incredible battle, the Nyala bull managed to fend off 3 dominant male cheetahs. I'm not sure whether it escaped with its life or not, but it gave the big cats a tough time. This snake was feasting on a rabbit's babies and enjoyed an easy meal, until the mama came into the scene and taught it a lesson. Just as she got the hang of the snake, she switched to boxing mode. Just look at that speed. At this moment, the predator realized it had made a wrong decision. But the mama rabbit was not done yet. It kept hitting the snake until it was out of sight. The lizard was done with the dog's dramatic barking, and it was time to get rid of the canine. So it literally charged at it. The habit of unnecessarily barking could cost something bigger to this dog. Hyenas mostly win in a fight, but apparently not when facing a donkey. Donkeys have an inherent hate for these predators. So when this one faced a hyena, it greeted it in the best way possible. Just as the donkey got a hold of this unwelcomed guest, it dragged it across the fence and showed it how bad the idea was of messing with it. And that was not it. The donkey kept charging until it had ensured this predator had learned its lesson. These two dogs were on a walk with their owner when they spotted a monitor lizard on their way and wanted to get it out of their territory. So they started barking to establish supremacy. But it just was not having it. After the lizard's patience wore out, it slapped one dog with its tail to stop it. I'm sure it's gonna remember that slap for a long time. This mongoose had spotted a cobra and decided to get rid of its deadliest opponent. Usually, they succeeded in these kinds of missions, but this snake decided to turn the tables. One wrong move could cost each party their life in this battle. The mongoose kept circling the cobra to look for a nice spot to strike. Ultimately, its opponent struck first and pierced the venomous fangs into the mongoose. I hope it'll be able to survive all that. This eagle was enjoying its meal at Featherdale Wildlife Park, but a bird decided to interfere on its nice day. At first, the eagle defended its food, and then used it to bait the bird. Just look how the eagle delicately kept it close to the cage. And just as the bird came close, snap! It grabbed its mouth!
Oh, Jesus!
Now that is true predatory genius right there. Zebras have been hunted by so many predators that they have now learned the tactics of getting rid of them. Just like here, when a lioness jumped right at the zebra's neck. It did not expect such a strong reaction from its side. It even ran over the predator, and with one solid jerk, got itself off. Now that is some next level self-defense. These dogs were getting on the cat's nerves for a very long time now, and it's not like it was afraid of them. It was just waiting for the right moment to get rid of them. After bearing them too long, it finally got in action and pushed one in the swimming pool. These dogs won't be messing up again. This hyena is on its way to steal the food of a cheetah, and for some reason, it gave up really easily. While both the predators were fighting over the gazelle, it was just playing dead. And just as the right moment arrived, it got up and ran for its life. Maybe the cheetah already knew this would happen. Seagulls are known to eat ducklings whenever they get the chance. This is why they've earned a pretty nasty reputation among the ducks. So when this seagull got too close to this mama's babies, she decided to teach it a lesson. Just look at that fighting agility. I think she's been taking training to take down seagulls for quite some time. After getting beaten by the angry duck, the seagull was lucky enough to run away with its life. Kangaroos have the heavyweight boxer reputation, and one even lived up to that name while fighting with an unassuming dog. The Great Dane and its friend had chased the Roo into the forest, and now they were face to face in a battle. The dog went to the water and even came out unharmed. But I guess it was looking for a proper fight, so the kangaroo grabbed the dog and tried to drown it. Luckily, it was rescued later on, but I hope the owners will be more careful next time. Rhinos are feared by many and categorized as one of the strongest animals. Yet this goat still had the guts to stand up to it. Even after being outnumbered, it still used its giant horns to stop the rhinos. The way it got on its front two legs, I think it's been trained in jiu-jitsu. After a fair fight, its opponents decided to fall back. Most rats run in the opposite direction when they spot a cat, but when this boss rat saw 3 giant cats, it charged at them as if to avenge its family that they'd been bothering for so long. The cats first waited for it to come to them, thinking it was in danger, but in reality, the rat was the danger itself. It wreaked havoc and chaos among the cats and made them leave their peaceful places. I think this dog was drunk. This is why it started seeing the lion as one of its own. Whether it was courage or just being really high, this canine definitely shocked the predator with its actions and made it look like a small cat with those blows. Look how proud it feels for fighting off a lion. I don't know what this hippo was thinking before messing with this rhino. but it surely has no will to live. It literally went into the territory of the giant animals and challenged one alone. The rhinos even initially ignored it, just thinking it might be drunk or something to pull this off. And then they lost their cool and decided to teach it a lesson. This gazelle was about to demonstrate some next-level survival tactics. When the lion came in to grab it, the gazelle pulled up a trick shot and dodged, getting eaten by mere inches. This shows you don't just need speed in the wild, you need smarts as well. All bears love honey, so much that this one willingly invaded the honeycombs of the bees to get a taste of it. But it faced a strong retaliation from the bees trying to protect their home. And it was so strong that the bear had no choice but to leave them alone. I guess it tasted defeat instead of the honey on this adventure. A pride of lions decided to take on a mongoose together, and to their surprise, it gave them a tough time. Even though the feisty prey was vastly outnumbered, it still didn't give up and fought with pride. Just look how it made the lion fall back. It all comes down to personality indeed. After vocalizing to establish authority and keeping an attacking stance, it finally managed to run away with its life, making the lions look less like the predators they were perceived to be. At first, this pig thought that the bear was just there to say hi, but things escalated quickly when it invaded their territory. The pigs ran to defend their place and food by charging the unwelcomed guest. This bear wants to get out of this place, but there's no way out. Luckily, after struggling for a while, it managed to run away with its life. This sheep thought it would be a good idea to mess around with its fellows for a good time, but it'll soon regret taking on this fight. After the first few headbutts, the challenger sheep knew what it had gotten into, but it was hard to come out now, as that black sheep was hell-bent on ending what was started. Not even a whole pride of lions can take over a protective mama elephant. These two poor souls had been separated from their family, and the lions thought of it as a good opportunity to hunt. But they were overpowered by the devoted mother at every step they took. After a fair fight, the lions had to retreat. Little did they know that their perfect plan would turn into humiliating defeat. This baby and mother elephant was enjoying a nice water pond when a crocodile decided to sabotage their perfect day. And that was its biggest mistake. The mother elephant was so pissed, it started stomping in the water to teach that predator a lesson. But it somehow ran away with its life. Well, at least that crocodile made one good decision. This snake made the biggest mistake of its life. It entered into the territory of meerkats, and on top of that, messed with a juvenile. These mammals are very possessive about their territory and their kids. When the whole family of meerkats knew about the intruder, its doom was inevitable. They collectively worked to force the cobra out of their land, showing how much impact teamwork can make. Usually, octopuses devour crabs for their meal, but in the twisted world of nature, these rules can be flipped to 180 degrees. This unusual and rare sight was recorded when a pod of spider crabs was migrating to Port Phillip Bay, and they were eating an octopus on their way. It seems like this was a juvenile who tried to hunt one of the smaller crabs, and instead got trapped in the vicious claws of its family. What a poor choice of place and prey. This group of penguins was having a nice stroll with their friends when a petrel decided to sabotage their perfect day. It even got hold on one of the baby penguins. But it got free from its grip. They worked strategically to form a strong group with a defensive stance. But much more than that was needed to get rid of the hungry petrel. Then, out of nowhere, an Adelie penguin came to their rescue. It's known as the feistiest penguin among many. Even the petrel was aware of its wrath, so it decided to retreat from the scene. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.